So Mia holds in her hand a piece of brown masi. We call this masi kuhui, or smoked tapa cloth. Now brown is usually reserved for people of high rank or chiefly status. Masi kuhui is also used throughout the islands on special occasions. So next two models we have today is Simi and Kamaya. They hold in their hand a piece of masi kesa. This is printed tapa cloth. This particular piece comes from the island of Namukai Lau in the southern Lau group of islands in Fiji. Now the variations in sizes can go from the piece you see in front of you to pieces that can cover an entire wall to showcase the beauty and craftsmanship of our women. Now each of the prints have symbols and designs that do have meaning, and this is very much still practiced and used today. Our next model, of course, up the front, we have Christabel and Ruby. They hold in their hand an imbe. Imbe is our name for our traditional mat. These mats are woven from the leaves of the pandanus plant. Now mats are used to cover the houses of our homes throughout Fiji. They're also used to make special occasions such as birthdays, weddings, and any other special occasion. We adorn the rooms with mats. So the next two models we have Nalani and Juliana. They have also another variation of a mat, and this particular mat is adorned with bright colored wool. Now this particular mat will be the last piece of decoration that would go on top of an arrangement of assorted mats, where the person being honored for a birthday or a wedding or whatever special occasion would normally sit on top of the mat and be honored with celebration. So the wool, of course, represents the time when wool was brought to the islands through Western trading, but back in the old days we used feathers to adorn the mats, much of which you can still be seen in the islands of Tonga and Samoa. So beginning our next part of our presentation, we have a presentation of our warriors and our chief. So the sound of the lali, or the wooden drums, normally signify the arrival of a high chief in a Fijian village. Whenever we hear the booming sounds of a lali, we know that there is something important about to happen in the village, whether it's a church service, a village meeting, or the arrival of an honored guest, or usually our high chief. Today, of course, our young warriors escort our chief, Amron, and on the left we have Elijah and Isaiah on the right. The clothing that is adorned by Amron represents the chiefly status of his family. So, of course, as I mentioned earlier, the brown masi cloth represents his status in society. The masi cloth that's draped across his chest also signifies a special way of dressing to show his status in society. Of course, around his neck he wears a wild boar's tusk. Again, this is usually reserved only for nobility. In his hands is a special chiefly club. Now the club represents his power and authority that he has over the people in the village. Now, of course, chiefs are still found throughout the islands of Fiji today, and many of our people still honor